Lee Palleschi knows his liquids, especially the spirited kind. And Lee has found his dream job creating his favorite beverages here at Modesto's Valley Spirits Company.
Cheers. I created that. I made that from scratch, from nothing. That, for me, is the big piece.
Lee is the master distiller and creator of Cold House Vodka and Outlaw Moonshine. It all began more than a decade ago with a vision and a hard-shelled kernel of an idea.
This is really how it all began. You do this on a much larger scale with a bigger grinder, but this is really the beginnings of your vodka and your whiskey. Tell me about this.
So this is basically taking whole kernel corn and breaking it down into a flour.
Wow, that would be a lot of work if it were by hand.
It is a lot of work.
You might be familiar with entrepreneurs who took a chance on their dreams and found success with boutique beers and wines. Well, Lee set out to do the same with distilled spirits. A decade back, just a handful of boutique distillers did business in the United States. That number has more than doubled today.
We make flour out of corn, and we take that corn flour, we put it in here with water. We have steam on the bottom of this. We heat it up, and we cook it, and we bring that up to a temperature where we break down the proteins and the starches. We gelatinize the actual corn, and then we use enzymes to take that starch that's now exposed, and we convert that starch into sugar.
This is a science.
It really is science.
Every single bottle is individually produced, labeled, and sealed with the branding of his specialty wax drip cover. From Lee's years of experience in the food industry, he created a detailed process of quality control. But as with offering consumers any kind of food product, it all boils down to taste.
What are you doing?
Tasting it.
And so what is it you're looking for when you taste it?
I'm looking for the alcohol to have a certain characteristic, to be a very clean alcohol, but to have the original taste of the base material, in this case, wheat.
And you taste wheat?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Fascinating. And so what did it take to get it to this point, Lee? A lot of work.
A lot of work. Almost 12 years worth of work. I literally was working on this for 8 years before we even went and got licensed with the federal government.
Controlling your product quality is a challenge for any new business. Liquor sales in the U.S. total some $20 billion a year, and distilling spirits is highly regulated, with strict licensing requirements at both the state and federal level. That means an additional consideration.
Because you have to understand how to make product, make vodka, make moonshine, make whiskey, and you can't do that without a license, but you can't get a license unless you know how to do it. So it's sort of a tough thing. But about 8 years, the journey before I finally got my recipes exactly where I wanted them, and the taste and the quality of the product was right where I wanted it.
Another challenge? With specific laws on distribution, it can be hard to find a wholesaler to distribute your product. So, handling the retail sales himself, Lee took his product and hit the road.
I carried my bottle around and went to different bars and restaurants, nightclubs and stores, and let them try it, let them compare it against other products, and some of them, you know, were interested in carrying it, and some of them just want to carry the big brands. And so I found those that were interested in carrying, you know, artisan products, craft products, and now here we are with 400 or 500 customers carrying our product.
Thousands of bottles of Cold House Vodka and Outlaw Moonshine are made each week and now sell all across the state of California.
I remember when I first saw it on the shelf, the first time that my product ever got on a store shelf, it was like, wow, I finally got what I made, what I'm passionate about, what I love to do up on a store shelf, because it was a big hurdle.
Lee's passion comes in some flavors you might not associate with typical vodka blends, like cilantro, wild cherry, even lemonade.
You know, Lee, we're holding your product here, your Cold House Vodka, cake batter. Yours says peach. You have really put your stamp literally on each of these flavors.
Yes, yes. Each of these, everything that I do is my own creation, and I worry about everything being all natural. I worry about everything being from California, because it's important to me that I make a product that is from my home state, that it combines all the wonderful agriculture that we have here. We have some of the best agriculture in the world, and so that to me is the important thing about one of my parts of my process, is that I use all those great agricultural products from California.
Products that all began with that kernel of a dream.
I don't ever want to do anything else the rest of my life.
Really?
Never. I never want to do anything the rest of my life except what I'm doing right now.